please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Michael Cashman.
Present.
Thomas Wood is absent. Barbara Hebert.
Here.
Charles Costick.
Here.
Dana Isabella.
Here.
James Coffey.
Here.
And I, Katie Pilucci, present.
Is there anyone seeking to provide public comment this evening? Seeing none, we'll advance. This is a hybrid meeting, just given kind of the timing of some stuff. We're going to move forward to Resolution 216, the tentative budget file for 2025.
Whereas the 2025 tentative budget for the town of Plattsburgh will be duly filed on September 24th in the town clerk's office. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Plattsburgh does hereby receive and place on file the 2025 tentative budget with the town clerk per town law, section 106, part 3. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert, is there a second?
Second.
Costick, any discussion? Seeing none. Can I get a roll call, please?
Barbara Hebert.
Yes.
Charles Costick.
Yes.
Dana Isabella.
Yes.
Michael Cashman.
Yes, so does carry. I will inform folks that Resolution 217 has fallen off the docket, so that is not an item for consideration anymore. We will advance to draft resolutions and materials. There are minutes, monthly reports. There is also a request for East Environmental Services and Public Services to collect the hazardous waste materials. That's something that's been going through Safety Committee for a little while now. And then there is, I just want to find it, the resolution that I'm bringing forward to you folks next week is the Investing in Local Infrastructure through a Hotel Room Occupancy Tax Authorization Act. I've been doing a lot of research over the last umpteen months, and there are a number of communities throughout the state that have done this. The hotel room occupancy tax is a process by which the state legislative body, both the Senate and the Assembly, need to pass that to allow for the home rule local law to be adopted, given that the fact that our state representatives are gearing up for session. I felt that this was the appropriate time to introduce this to the body here. Should it pass, then to have ongoing dialogue with Assemblyman Jones and Senator Steck. I would note, though, specifically that the town and village of Skaneateles, I have a couple of colleagues over there, and that this occurred in a manner very similar to us. Similar in size and scope, similar to service area, also had two members of the legislative body down in Albany, or the respective houses, of two different parties, so on and so forth. So really the model is very much there. What I wanted to draw people's attention to is that the town specifically, these funds would be focused largely on infrastructure. And the town has a history, mainly through this board over the last several years and some boards previous, to focusing on things like health and safety, sustainability, and economic development, specifically in the town center, which is our economic hub. So while this resolution doesn't nail out every item to it, it's the primer to the conversation with our legislators, that if authorized, we would then have to pass a local law, so on and so forth. But I'm really hopeful about this. I think this would continue to put the town in a very strong position to continue to focus on the bread and butter of local municipalities, which is infrastructure, and being that center of the economic development for the North Country. Does anyone have any questions on this?
And again, Michael, it's hotel, motel, and vacation stay rentals.
Yep. and the costs are borne by the user. You know, as we continue to be a jumping off point for Lake Placid and others, we obviously have seen a significant amount of growth and interest in hotels in the area. And, you know, we're talking about a nominal amount of money, but collectively, it goes a long way. Again, for growth and the development to occur, we need to continue to focus on, you know, things like infrastructure and other things that people are looking for within that kind of aperture of things. So, any questions? All right, so I just wanted to get into that in a little bit of a preview. But we're still a ways away from the full thing. Adoption of, by the town board, local law number 2 of 2024, a local law to establish a residency requirement, and that comes from the tax receiver as it relates to the deputy's position. All right. Any questions? Is anyone seeking to provide any committee reports this evening?
I would just mention from the safety side with the haz waste pickup, that's going to be a pretty hefty bill this time around, but that's several years worth of accumulation. Mike Drew, the new building and ground superintendent's done an excellent job with cleanup, especially in some of the outbuildings, and organizing a lot of these hazardous materials for pickup. And what will happen going forward probably will be on Earth Day. We're going to make that our spring cleanup day, and we'll establish a pickups of the hazardous materials. So it's done on a yearly basis. It'll be done that day.
That's great.
So I think we have a good program going forward. He's done a lot with that. So.
Yeah, I talked to Mike actually today on that, and he said also that it is fairly, you know, a fairly large amount of money to do it. But he said this, that we're paying for a lot of past years and won't be that.
Could potentially go to the decades, so it's been a bit since that's
Maintenance has been a big focus,
Yeah.
and it's really making a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now they got a new safety data system, the SDS. It just makes sense that you're also concurrently doing other things that make sense to that system.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a good job done.
I wanted to say from Parks and Recs that both playgrounds, new playgrounds are up and beautiful, and 3 more next year. So I think that's pretty wonderful. The pollinators have been planted or seeded. That's ready to put to bed for the fall and see what spring brings. Really impressed with those projects. And then highway, I think we're complete over, other than the last paving, over with the sinkhole problems that they've had. And they were able to get to Hannaford Plaza, that
It's great.
Plaza Road, Plaza Boulevard looks great. You know, it's been a busy month for those departments,
It
so.
And codes and zoning, you know, usually the summer is considered that peak season for permits and so forth, but as we end the season, you know, codes and zoning, they had 21 permitted residential projects, they had 15 commercial and industrial permitted projects, and so, and those are either alterations or there's new residential building, and that segues into our planning community development. You know, I think kudos to the team and also Michael for his presentation at the beginning in terms of the downtown revitalization initiative application. We're in round 8. Some of us were able to be there on Tuesday night. That was the September 24th. A nice, diverse audience, Michael, in terms of the people that were participating in that. 10 proposed projects. Would you say that?
I think that's the number.
And just trying to put it in the context of that. And also, the submission date for that is October 18th. And then from there, I think the ramp is rather short. By hopefully January 2025 will be a decision rendered on the. So.
And thank you to the people who came out.
Yes,
It
that's what I
was
was gonna say.
wonderful to see that community engagement piece. So thank you.
And the activity report from our planning community development, you know, Jessica and Trevor, they had several meetings. You look at their August, we have our liaison meeting, we look at their meetings that they do, and there were at least 4 meetings at minimum that they had for the DRI preparation, so.
I would just echo off that, for anyone that may be watching on TV, that you can go to elevateplattsburgh.com. It's the project page. You can also go to the towns page and click over to the project page. It does have the approximately 50-page presentation that Trevor did. It does give you a sense of illustration. It is everything from residential units to regional recreation to childcare, things that are really, really exciting. I think that the application, when it's completed, is going to be very competitive. So to stay cautiously optimistic, and just to echo again off a couple other things too. Danny, you had mentioned the highway department and then the sinkholes. I would bring to your attention, we still continue to be very dogged in our approach with our federal partners. I had a very interesting conversation with members of WabTech, a business that actually has a sinkhole on their property. And this is exactly one of the things that I was concerned about, is that it's not just, again, about our roads, it's not just about, our infrastructure, is that when the former Air Force Base was there, they put infrastructure in a large section of that property out there, and new things were built over Cold War era infrastructure. So they and I and some other individuals will be having some conversations, but it's been very productive, and because we put that call to action out there, they felt comfortable reaching out to us, and so hope that that some additional coalition building can occur. And the last thing that I would just toss out, the interest in Michigan Fest for next year has been very, very exciting, and want to thank you First Credit Union and Danamora Federal Credit Union, but they have built, again, a community group of individuals from a wide array, and I just put that out to the public. If individuals seek to get involved, all they have to do is call here at Town Hall, and we'll get them in contact with you first or Danamora. They're the co-chairs. They are doing it on behalf of the town as the home of the Michigan, but they're the ones that are coordinating it and organizing it, and it will be a fundraiser for the Battlefield Memorial Gateway project too. So it's a win-win, so some good stuff going on. Is there anyone else seeking to provide any committee reports or updates? All right, seeing none, we will adjourn tonight's meeting at 6:12 p.m. Drive safe, everyone.